welcome back to a long-awaited video that is not the ITF update. I had a crazy couple weeks, packed up, headed off to ITF, had a great time. We're going to talk about that in the ITF video. And then I came straight back, and literally the day after I got back, I did 7 days in a row at Disneyland. So I have been just crazy busy. Today is literally my first day to do anything. So I've done like 10 chores. I had to record excerpts for an audition. I already finished that somehow. And I thought I would make this quick update. It's probably not going to be quick. About all the stuff that has changed in the intervening time. So yes, went to ITF, talked to a bunch of people. First of all, I do want to say a lot of people stopped me in the hallway and they're like, hey, I watch your videos. I'm a big fan, blah, blah, blah. And that was really cool. I don't get to see my influence on the world in a real way very often, so it was really nice to just get some validation for what I do and to see some like successful young and not so young players out there in the world who are going to events and like competing in things and having a blast that have watched my videos. So that was really cool. If you came to say hi, hello back again. That was really cool, and I'll probably talk more about that in the ITF video. I met a bunch more people, made some friends, saw some cool concerts. That's all going to be the update. And I got some new stuff. So real quick, let's talk about the new stuff that I got. Of course, this is not it. Nothing about this has changed. This is my Shire's Curran. His name is George Curran. I learned the correct pronunciation from one of his students who studied with him at MSM. Curran. George Curran. So this is a Shire's George Curran model. I'm going to pronounce that correctly from now on. That has not changed. I took my B&S, Meistersinger Sarastro bass trombone, which is in a case over there. I did not play that today, recording excerpts. I took that to ITF because I wanted to find a new mouthpiece for it. I can tell, and I could tell for a while, that my usual Marquis 87 just wasn't a good match, because all these other people would play the horn and be like, wow, this is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I like it, but it seems really picky. If I played it just wrong, the horn would just like not respond, especially like low C and low B were just really uncomfortable. I was like, you know what? I think it might be the mouthpiece. Obviously, there's some me factor, but like everybody else was happy with it. So I luckily met up with someone I've met on the internet many times, and we've traded parts and stuff. And I traded one of my copper tuning slides for this Tyne BME mouthpiece. This is a mouthpiece commonly used with like the Ben Van Dyke Tyne model bass trombone, etc. I guess, and probably some of those artists use this mouthpiece. I've seen it around. I haven't played one myself, and so I tried it out, and instantly, massive change. The horn just felt so much better. The mid-range, where is really the problem zone for me if a mouthpiece doesn't match, boom, just flies out of the horn. It feels so comfortable, makes so much noise. I was so happy with it that I was like, yes, let's trade, because this is a perfect match. Also, go figure, a perfect match for the Tyne Ben Van Dyke bass trombone. I will talk about that in the ITF video. So yes, and this is a really cool like German sound. It's a little bit lighter. It has a lot of color. It's not necessarily light. It's not like a Conn small taper bell bass trombone or anything like that, but it's just got a little less of that like really huge depth to it that some of the American stuff has. And luckily enough, when I came home, I was just playing some horns, and I didn't get out my Marquis. I got out this, my Wrath B 1¼ W mouthpiece. I've had this for like 10 years now. I actually used it for a while in undergrad because I wanted to move to something larger, and for some reason I had this. I'm not sure where it came from, and I've just had it sitting around for literally those 10 years. I've not used it in the meantime, and I was playing it on my other horns, and I was like, this mouthpiece doesn't suck. I can actually play it now. And when I put it in the B&S, kaboom! The whole thing just came to life in a different way. So the Tyne mouthpiece really has that kind of Germanic sound, a little more orchestral on that kind of side of things. And this just makes this really fat, like just bass trombone sound, kind of almost Holton-like. So awesome. I just got another mouthpiece that works, that makes a different sound. So I keep both of these in the case. They don't necessarily work for any of my other horns. I actually was like, ooh, is this Wrath a better mouthpiece for me? No, it's not. The Marquis is better in basically everything else that I own. But these two work in the B&S. So, very happy. Actually, one of my primary goals was to find a mouthpiece for that. And I did. And I found two, it turns out. I also wanted to find a new mouthpiece for large bore tenor. I've been playing the same Greg Blacks for quite some time. Oops, just knocked a couple down. I've got this 3G 5G M and a New York 3.5. And I just kind of keep waffling between these. I'm like, is this one better? No, this one's better. No, this one's better. And I've largely just been pretty unhappy. I will get large tenor out, and sometimes it'll feel great. And then like 20 minutes later, I can't do anything. I feel really uncomfortable. I can't articulate. I can't play soft. Maybe I can't play loud or high or low or whatever it is. And then I'll get the horn out the next day, and it feels awful. And then the next day, it feels good. Something was up. And to a point, I'll blame myself. I'll just sit down and practice it for like a whole day. And then at some point, I'm like, you know what? Something's wrong here. Because it's like this on all of my large tenors. We'll talk about that in a second. And all of these horns cannot be to blame. There's something up with the mouthpiece. I have all these slides, too. I have this rack of slides right here. All of them feel kind of the same. What's up with that? So I went to Doug Elliott at ITF. And literally the first setup we put together, which was not this, by the way, was instantly 1,000 times better. I mean, like, it was night and day. It's hard to even put into words. I played my horn, which I'll show in just a moment, with my Grey Black 3G, 5G. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm used to. Not in love with it. And then I tried this with a different rim. We'll talk about that. And instantly I was making like twice as many decibels, 10 times as easily in all ranges. I was like, excuse me? Is this the same instrument? Like, did something just stop leaking right now? It was that drastic of a change. I guess I should have been on something like this the whole time. This is a Doug Elliott G Star Cup XT series with a G8 shank. And I ended up getting the medium narrow 104 rim, which is kind of a 3G size rim, which is what I've been playing for a while, but not the narrow one, which is very interesting. I already have, I don't know if any of them are out right now, several narrow 104 rims for my small bore pieces, and I've not been in love with those on the small bore pieces. I've been kind of fighting them on my Doug Elliott's, and when I tried this with the narrow 104, I was like, this works, but there's something about it that's not quite right for my face. And so we got out the medium narrow 104. Instantly, everything just got better. So apparently, I do need a little bit wider of a rim, which is a bit of a surprise. I thought I was totally down with the really narrow rim. And actually, maybe I need like the regular width. I've been using one of those on my small bore pieces for a while. But anyway, I don't really care because this is still just such a massive upgrade, and it makes the horns just sound so much better. The Greg Blacks get this really dark sound and nothing else. It's kind of cutting off the high overtones. I'm not getting the color, and this just has everything. The tone pyramid is got all three corners. It just feels great. I also got the G9 shank, which he usually reserves for dual bores. But my friend there, Ben, told me to try the G9 as well. I was like, okay, this isn't a dual bore. And it felt very good in a slightly different way. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get both. And if one is better, I might use it in this horn, might change it for that horn, whatever. I don't want to paint myself into a corner with one shank. That is one of the best purchases I've ever made. And I'm very excited to use it more. And like later today, maybe. So, large tenor project. It's done. Like entirely. I have all the parts. They're all complete. I've paid for it. I have all the slides. It's done. At ITF, I met up with Ben, my tech, and he handed off my K-valve section, which has been revamped a little bit, and he also tempered my gold brass tuning slide. So I got all this a while back. I've already showed it on the channel, and it was good, but I wasn't blown away. The K valve itself was just a little bit temperamental. I feel like it played really well, and then like I would get it out the next day and it would not play well at all. And it turns out it's just really picky about being oiled. Now I know that. He's also gone through and redone the mini balls, which were a little bit kludged together. So I'm very happy about this K valve section. It plays really well. I had some people play it at ITF, and they loved it. They're like, wow, this horn's really good. Including someone who owns a 42K that's very, very good. He's like, you know what? This is better than mine. It's more even. It's got all the notes there. It sounds great, which made me very happy because this is just random parts put together, of course. I just happened to bring this bell and one of my slides. And then my gold brass tuning slide, which is a new part. This is from Bach. Tech Ben put this together, and it just kind of sucked. It worked. I didn't mind it entirely, but when we went back and forth with my other tuning slides, it was obviously just worse. It was like, why would you choose this when I have a yellow tuning slide that is just better in every way? And so he was like, you know what? I think the part is too hard. When you make something or when you work on it, sometimes the metal can get hard. It can get kind of brittle-ish. And the way to work on that is to temper it. So you get it really hot and the metal will settle in a new way and just be softer. There are different finishes for bells and things. And that's one of the things that's very secret about a lot of bell making is how they temper the metal, how they keep it soft in certain spots and hard in other spots to make it the best. And so he tempered this. He put it in like a thing of water so the whole thing wouldn't just pop apart, and then just torched the crap out of the crook to heat it way up and then cooled it, and now it's really good. He also buffed it and polished it, which he did not have to do. I was like, you know what, you can leave it ugly, I can polish it myself, and he polished it. And so now I have gold brass tuning slide, K-valve, Corporation bell. I have Friedman G star bell, so it's gold brass. I have a yellow brass tuning slide and the Hagman valve setup. And I have straight neck pipe, another yellow tuning slide, and a 36 bell. And these are all it. This is it. I have the whole setup now. So at some point, someday in the future, I will sit down, I will play all these setups, I will find the best ones, I'll play them with other people, do trials by fire, all that kind of stuff. I literally have not had time to do that. And now I do. Finally have the time to do that. That's about all the equipment changes I can think of for the moment. I am very tired, as you can probably see by the bags beneath my eyes, and I'm going to finally play some stuff for me, for fun, that is not playing for work or trying to record or doing whatever. And I will start to get to work on my ITF video, which is going to take a little bit. I'm sorry about the wait. That's just what it is. This is a very busy week. And that's about all I got for now. I will see you all in the next one, which is probably the ITF video. Bye-bye.